because I want, oh, thank you. Whoever hit the record button. I wanted to thank you guys for all hopping on here. Send some reminders out to your team, just in case there's some people that are a little slower to the punch in the team chat, because I know that sometimes it gets a little chatty in there. We mute notifications on there and then we miss things. So I wanted to just really do a little bit of a recap of some tools that we have and show you guys, like, what do I do when I'm in my process of, bringing on customers and promoters and trying to really move more into attraction marketing rather than having to go out there and seek and hunt. I'd rather be the hunted, right? So it's a lot more fun that way, I will tell you. And it's not that we didn't get with the program. Yes, it is. We didn't get with the program. Sydney's been trying to preach to all of us for a really long time on this. But then there's the back end of this of like, sorry, I'm cleaning up my desk. My son's been working at my desk for the last couple of hours. There's just crap everywhere. But then we get people who ask us questions. And I know that there's a lot of people on the team that still, after doing Monday morning Zoom, I realize there's a lot of people that still don't have the confidence level yet of answering the questions as easily as some of us who've been doing this for a while. So I wanted to really, we're really trying to automate things so that we can make things faster at your fingertips. Boards has really sped that process up and made that a lot easier to get to you guys, because I can give you the scripts and we could have them in our notes, but it seemed like, we'd have to go back and like search, where was that one script? And that was about that. And now Boards is such a great application that we can kind of keep everything and update things as we go. And so I had a shower moment today. If you guys, for those of you who've been around for a while, I talk about my shower moments. No, not like that. But I get these, like, I usually take a shower after I work out. So like the endorphins are pumping and I'm like thinking about what I need to get done. And then I have this like aha moment of things that we could do to make things even better. So I recorded this video today after talking on Monday mornings Zoom. I realized, well, I've been realizing for a while, we're having a harder time bringing on promoters. We have this insane, incredible promotion going on right now. And I can still see, things moving in the right direction, but I can still see that it's a struggle for this team to bring on promoters. And I think there's a couple things happening here. One, you're not confident in what to say, so you're just not even asking the hard questions, because then you're like, what if they throw something at me that I don't know how to answer? And because we kind of got out of the three-way calls and it's a little bit harder to get people into three-way chats, there's this like disconnect there. So people are just not asking as much the hard questions. So hence we don't have people coming on. And then with the way the economy is, everybody's kind of afraid to ask for somebody to purchase a $400 or $800 kit. So you shy away from that. And we're our own worst enemies. And it really doesn't need to be that difficult. And I started to realize, and like I think Sydney said this morning, we've really been focusing on Klarna on our sales, because it is making it so much easier. We didn't have that tool 6 years ago or even 2 years ago. We weren't utilizing it if it was out there. And we do have it now. And there's another one called Afterpay. And while it's not the perfect solution, it is a solution to almost every time someone says, I can't afford to do it right now. Get back with me in April. I'll have more money after my taxes, whatever. Like, we have the solution now. So I've done a couple of Zooms or calls or three-way chats over the last few days, trying to solve that problem for people, and gave you guys kind of the script I use. But then we still have to describe it to people, right? So when I was thinking about it today, I was like, what if I created a really short video with me sharing screen and some slides behind it that explained, like, one of the other questions we get all the time is, which kit should I buy and why, and what are the differences in the kits? So I recorded a video today. I put it on our YouTube channel. It's in, did I put it in the Boards app yet? I think it's in the Boards app, but I haven't shared this board with you guys yet, because I'm going to also, there's going to be under the scripts board, actually, you should be able to see it because it's under the scripts board, of which I have shared with you. There's now a new folder called objections. It's not completely filled out yet, but under promoter objections, there's can't afford the promoter kit. When you go there, there's a little script and there's a link to a YouTube video. It's 9 minutes. It's me breaking down the 3 kits, the VIP. I don't break down the VIP like, because there's a VIP 800, 1600 video. We don't need another one. And I didn't want to spend the time breaking that down because I'm assuming at this point in your conversation, when they're saying they can't afford it, you have already sent them the VIP 800, 1600 video so that they know what kind of money they can make. And if you haven't followed the funnel appropriately anyways. So you need to probably go back and send them the VIP 800, 1600 video. But I break down the kits. I totally sell the $400 and $800 kit for you on this. All of the features and benefits of why they should purchase the $400 or the $800 kit. I kind of leave the $200 kit as that's not enough product for you. But they still know it's an option so that they have all the options there. And then I take them through how they're going to get their return on their investment. I literally break it down on a sheet of paper that's in a Canva presentation. You can watch it after we hop off of here, of how if they break this down in Klarna, they can get, dog squeaking toy behind my office door, going to kill. It's extremely distracting, throws my brain off. I'm in one of those modes today where like I've crushed my brain so hard that like the little things are distracting me today. Okay, so I broke it down, their return on their investment. Sometimes I want to say ROI, and then I realize it's not everybody knows what ROI means. So their return on their investment, meaning they buy their $400 kit, how they're going to get their return on their investment in the first 14 days by earning the VIP 800 or 1600. But we take it a step further now, and I break down Klarna for them of how they're only going to have $100 out of pocket today. And by the time their second payment is due, we're going to work through earning them the VIP 800, 1600 so that they can pay that back and they can pay off the kit early, right? So all of this is broken down for you to use in 9 minutes. So it's just another video tool that you guys will be able to use when someone says, which kit should I buy? Can't really afford it right now. Any of those objections are all handled in this video. So when we get off of here, I recommend going and watching it. If you have anybody on the fence right now that has told you that, you can take the script and use it. So that is one thing that I created today. The other thing that I'm going to do is in boards going to have like a total folder on objections. Under objections, there will be a promoter folder and a customer folder. I will populate those over the next few days. And that's why I was asking in the chat. And then we get a little run away with the negative in there, and it makes my mind hurt. So I was like, okay, enough, time out. We got it. I want some, I don't want all that. So I'm going to populate some of the most common objections that we get and how I handle them so that you'll have all of those scripts at your fingertips. Every time someone throws you an objection, boom, you've got the answer. You might want to edit it, obviously, depending on, but you'll at least have the script so you can populate it, and then you can make some edits to it if there's some other question they're asking it doesn't completely match up. But over time, we should be able to get almost every objection we have ever heard populated in those folders so that we'll have all that at our fingertips. So that is just a little update about new. The other thing I want to talk about is understanding the tools that we have on this team and being able to sell them. If you guys are following me and you're watching what I'm doing, I think my stories are gone from yesterday, but yeah, they are. I created some new graphics where I really sold what our team has to offer because, hey, while there's competition out there with other network marketing companies, we are in competition with other teams too in Lavelle and in Thrive. So we want to know what sets our team apart, and not even just that. Like if someone's thinking about joining another network marketing company with a team that doesn't have the tools that we have, we need to make sure that we're selling that, because what I've invested into for us, for all of us, are tools that can automate and duplicate your business so much faster. And we should be using those in every sales pitch that we do. This is what our team provides to you, because some of the objections you're going to get, and we will, get some of those scripts populated in there, are going to be things like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done sales before. I don't have a network. I don't know a lot of people. We're going to handle all of those objections, but there's also a ton of training and tools on our team that will handle the objection for them, that will make your job so much easier. So there's that. You have to use the tools though. And this is one thing that I'm grateful for, some of the tools that we've built more recently, like the bots. I can see if they're being used or not. And I know what my closure rate has gone up using that sales wheel that we have. And I redid that training today. If you didn't see me drop it in the chat, scroll up in the team chat. It's on the Hustle and Grow Training YouTube channel. I redid it so that it's concise. It's 19 minutes long. You should be able to go through it and refresh your memory on that at any given time. It should go to every person you bring on after they kind of go through the bot and get their 14 days out of the way. That's a training that should be a must for everybody. But I can create all of these tools and all of these systems and all of these scripts and have all of this stuff populated. And I know people are using boards because we get a lot of people talking about it. What I know you're not using enough is the bots, because I can see when people start in them. So if we have those tools, I want feedback why you're not using them. I want feedback of why every trial person you get out there, you're not entering them. Or is it compliance? You are actually giving it, and don't you dare lie to me and tell me you're giving it if you're not, because I need to solve the problem. I don't want to be trying to solve a problem that's not a problem that doesn't exist. If you're actually giving that website out every single time you send a sample out and getting your person enrolled in that, what's happening? Like, are we not using the tool? Are we not giving people the website, or are they not complying and entering it? Because I'm doing it, you guys, and they're in mine. Every trial user goes into mine, and they're enrolling themselves. So my people that I'm sending trials out to can't be that much different than people you guys are sending trials out to. So it can't be an answer of none of your people will comply with that sample bot, because all of mine are. So what's the difference? If anybody has any responses for that, is a question. If anybody has any responses for me, you can unmute or you can throw an answer in the chat. Is it something that we're just still not comfortable with using? Is it something that there's a barrier there for you guys that doesn't make sense? Like, I want to solve the problem because I know what that bot's doing for my business right now. So I want you to think about that. If it's just a case of you not using it, then start using it. Please, I beg you. It will save you so much time. And it's not even about you. It's about what duplicates on your team. So if we have those tools and we're not using it, how are we going to duplicate to our team to do? Yes, I put it in the chats yesterday. They were only down for about 2 days. It was just timing out. I mean, you could still enroll somebody into it. It's just that they were timing out at like the first notify, then nothing was happening. It was a Facebook thing. It really had nothing to do with our bot. It's just Facebook changes its rules and its algorithms and all of its stuff, and then stuff disconnects and we had to get it connected again. So yes, everything's been back up and running. We updated the promoter bot, just so you guys know. And here's this is the most beautiful thing about the promoter bot. When you have a new promoter come on board, a lot of you are still working full-time jobs and trying to do this and trying to crush your business, right? Use that tool. And you should all, I'd love to see everybody go through that promoter bot again. There are now fast forward buttons in it, meaning after day one, you don't have to wait for day two. You can go through, you can sit down on a Saturday afternoon and go through the entire promoter bot. And there's a couple things we're still removing out of it that might not make 100% sense, but they also won't cause confusion. It's just maybe a little overkill. So we got to take some things out of it because I redid the training at the beginning. There was a first 24-hour training was the kind of the first thing that they came across, and they watched that training. And then I took that out because it was a little outdated, and that thing is only like 4 or 5 months old. That shows you how quick, things do change in this business and why you have to stay plugged into these Zooms and plugged into everything that we do, because it changes so quickly and we have no control over that. It just does. And how we do things and how social media works and what's the most important thing for them to learn when they first come on board. So I broke that down into 4 separate videos now. Number one, so that I could pull a video out if it didn't make sense anymore and just redo one part of the training rather than have to redo the whole thing every single time. But it's broken up into 4 parts that I believe are the most important in order. 3 videos they watch on the first day, 1 on the second day. And the one that they watch on the second day is boards training, and it's an in-depth boards training. I want to say it's no longer than 12 minutes, but it shows them how to download it. It shows them how to use the scripts. I talk them through everything so that they are up and running on the boards app and have all the scripts at their fingertips in their second day on the job. If you don't use the promoter bot when a new promoter gets started, you are just handcuffing yourself. You're making it harder on yourself. And I know that I don't see as many people going through the promoter bot because we haven't been bringing on as many promoters. And it is hard to get new promoters to comply to the promoter bot. I have brought on a lot of promoters in the last 30, 60 days. And I can tell you, because I can see people going through it, I get that ability. I know when my own new promoters aren't going through it. But then when they come and ask me for help, I just send them back to the bot because I don't need to answer those questions. It's all answered in the training, which makes your job while you're still working a full-time job so much easier. So much easier. I wish I would have had that when I started this business. I've always been doing it full time. I'm grateful that I've been able to do that. But man, there's been momentum times in this business that I wish we would have had a promoter bot like this so I could have just plugged people in and let them run. And it really does everything for them. It gives them all the posts they should be making. And this is how I'm doing all the coaching calls now. If you've fallen off a little bit and you're trying to jump back in your business and you want to get on a coaching call, it's a requirement that you go through that 14-day bot before we schedule your coaching call. Why? Because I think that will solve 99% of your problems if you just get back in the game with what we tell you to do on a daily basis. The problem is you just fell out of that and forgot. So I'm going to recommend that anytime you guys feel like your business is slowing down or something isn't clicking or something isn't jiving, you can't go back through the first 14 days like you're in your first 14 days. I mean, every month when we start a new month, and if you've been around for a while, we're trying to reset at VIP 800 or VIP 1600. No, there's no bonus for that after the first time that you get it. But there is, because you're building a business, and that's exactly what we should be doing every month. At minimum, trying to reset VIP 800 every month with 2 customers, two promoters at maximal, not at maximum, there is no maximum. Secondarily, VIP 1600, where we're bringing on 4 promoters and 4 customers, which is where I'm at right now, doing this full time. I have a lot, I don't want to say I have a lot of time on my hands. I have more time on my hands than most to work my business. So I'm trying to reset a VIP 1600 every single month. I also want to be able to show this team what is doable, what is possible. If I can do it, you can do it too. And especially if I'm giving you all of my scripts and everything that I say, there is nothing that I am doing that you can't do too. It's just about putting the time in and the effort in and following the funnels and the systems that we have in place. Like I said, I redid that sales wheel training and dropped it in the chat. I totally recommend every single person on this team, because I realized after Monday morning's Zoom that, let me back up. After Monday morning Zoom, if you weren't on it, you can go back and watch it. It's loaded on the YouTube channel. I wanted everybody to give me like conversations. And I have to say this, you guys, because sometimes I think we make up excuses. We did that Zoom that morning, and I had some people give me some things that weren't working. 2 things I'm going to tell you that I took away from that Zoom. I asked specifically for, your last so many promoters that you were trying to bring on, and what happened, why weren't you able to close those? And I got a lot of people who've been around for a long time give me stuff about motivating their current team. And I was like, that is not the question I asked. Why are we still there? Why are you still there? I'm not there. I come in and I do this Monday and I do this Wednesday, and I'm in the chats and I build stuff for you guys, but I'm all about recruiting new. If you don't want to move and you've been around for a while, oh, well, I'm not trying to beat dead horses around here. I've led the horses to the water. Now they have to drink. So stop. I'm not duplicating that. I'm going out and finding new. You guys can see that. And we had some veterans on there answering a totally different question that I was not asking, which was, how do I get my old team to move again? your old team has to want to move again. Put them back in the 14-day promoter bot, have them get restarted like they're a brand new promoter. That's how, and then move on and you go find new people. The other thing that I found from that training was that people aren't using the tools. I could tell because of the objections you were throwing me and how we've already taught you how to handle them. And one of them is with that sales wheel. That sales wheel is like, it's why my sales have increased. It's why I am closing more sales, customer and promoter. It is purely from that wheel. If you have not plugged into that yet, you need to. And I would still rewatch it because a lot of you were asking questions and handing out objections that had you dug a little deeper and asked a bunch of questions like you should be in that wheel, you wouldn't have been getting those objections. The other thing we're going to have happen if you're using that wheel is when you do bring them on, you now know how committed they were in the first place to this. And you can go back and say, hey, I know when we were first talking, you were thinking about ordering your kit. This is why you wanted to start the business. Is that still the goal? But if you don't do that, you skip a bunch of steps and then you have promoters not hitting their VIP, which we're all, listen, I can tell you from a lot of experience, you can bring them on, you cannot make them hit VIP 800. You can give them all the tools. You can remind them of their time frame. You can give them as much training as humanly possible in their first 2 weeks. But it's up to them if they're actually going to contact the people. They're going to post on Facebook. They're going to do the stuff on social media and they're going to get their trials out. You can't do it for them. But we have all the tools to teach them how. I have no doubt in my mind that if someone fails under my watch, the VIP 800, VIP 1600 in their first 14 days, it's because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Not because I didn't do what I was supposed to do 100% of the time. And I've made that really easy for you guys by having this promoter bot. So go through it again, see what the new updates are, because we did update a few things. And as the next couple of weeks go on, I'm probably going to keep updating the end of it. I only updated the, like the very first getting started videos, because those are the ones that needed the most attention right now. I knew we needed a boards training in there. And I really, I sat down with Julie. I don't know if she's on here right now. She had an appointment tonight. I sat down with Julie and one of her promoters, Paul, at the local last Thursday and realized that a lot of people are still not doing the sample process the way that you should. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through how I do that right now. And maybe some of you are doing this every single time. And maybe some of you are like, gosh, I keep forgetting to do it like that. And there's a reason why I do it this way. And it takes a lot of pressure and a lot of work off of my shoulders. And it puts some accountability on the person who wants the sample. And I know if they're serious or not. So all of my new promoters are getting trained this way. And this is the training that I train in one of those videos, in the first 4 videos that you'll get in that promoter bot. So again, that's why I recommend going through that bot and watching all 4 of those videos, because all four of those videos, while some information is old, there's new stuff in there that you should be learning and keeping yourself updated on, because this is your business. So this is how it goes for me. Now I have my own trial bot because it's just easier for me to keep things separated, because I can make offers in mine that I don't know if everybody can do. So the one team trial bot I pay for, so you guys can all have it, but I don't know what Carol can offer versus what Rowanna can offer, what Mandy can offer. So it's got to be generic. So I have everybody that says, okay, so let's just go back to, you did a birthday reach out today, and the birthday reach out says, now, first of all, we have a script for that in boards. If you're using something other than that, other than this, and you are not converting your trials to customers or trials to promoters, I highly recommend you send your upline that is very active in the business your birthday script and see why it might not be converting, because mine convert like crazy. And I'm not saying my way is the best way. I'm saying if yours aren't converting, let's look at what you're doing, because mine now follows the sales wheel. Okay. It's getting some important questions out of the way in the very beginning that we weren't doing before. And I'm saving myself a lot of product, a lot of time, and a lot of money. So this birthday reach out says, hi there, hope you have a wonderful birthday. I'd love to get a happy birthday pack in the mail to you. What would you like to experience more of this year? Energy, weight loss, more hours in your day, mental clarity, or mood boosting? I get way more responses on my birthday reach outs now because I'm asking them to tell me. And when they see that they can get more hours in their day, by the way, I get that one. Funny, I get that in mood more than I get energy sometimes, which was kind of surprising to me. We're always thinking we need to give everybody more energy with Thrive. Some people really want other things. So everybody starts with that message. When they answer a question, I don't want to go through the sales wheel training, but our go-to response sometimes is to automatically say, all right, great, let me send you a sample. I ask more questions now. I want to know what they've already tried. What other things are they doing? Have they ever tried Thrive in the past? I ask a bunch of questions, so I have more information. When I decide that they are committed to taking this trial, I then send them my sample bot link. My sample bot link, you would be sending your sample site first. So your steps are send the birthday reach out. When they give you a response to what they want more of, dig and ask some more questions, follow the sales wheel. When you determine they are a good candidate for your sample, then give them your sample site, which is your username .le-vel.com/Thrive samples. Okay, so everybody's is the same username .level.com/Thrive samples. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do is send them your sample site, period. Don't take their name and address. Don't. I promise you, you will love me later for doing it my way. I promise you. It took me a while to get this down and to get out of my old bad habits, but man, is it better. They, number one, have to put in a little bit of effort. And I know some of you are probably like, well, half the time they don't go to my site. Well, then they're not worth your sample. If they can't even go to a site and click on a link and fill out their name and address and phone number, then they are not worth your sample. This does not create them a customer account, just so we're clear. This does not create them a customer account. So there's a couple of things, and I want you to listen to me clearly and write this down in notes, okay? Once they have filled out their information on the sample site, you're going to get an email to the email address you have on file with Lavelle for your promoter account. It's going to say you have a sample request. So bingo, there you go. You have a sample request. You have to go into your cloud office and you either have to accept or deny it, okay? I'm working with support to change some language in the denial because they do get an email, and if they scour deep enough of that email, it tells them their sample request was denied, which they need to change that language because a lot of us send out our own and it makes it look like we're just denying their request. So I have put in a ticket to beg them to change that. So you go in there and you accept or deny before. This is important, right? Write this down. Before you say accept or deny, copy their email address down and put it in your records wherever you keep those. If it's Trello, if it's Excel, if it's wherever you keep a notebook, because as soon as you hit accept or deny, their email goes away. Okay. Their address stays in there, but their email goes away. You can't see it anymore. So if you're building an email address list like I am, you will want to do that. Okay. So first and foremost, you're going to give them your sample site. You're going to make them fill it out. It's going to email you and say you have a sample request. You're going to go in there and accept it or deny it. If you accept it, it means that you're having Lavelle ship your sample out for you, and it will not allow you to accept it if you don't have any sample credits in there. Every one of your promoters that comes on board and orders a $400 or an $800 kit gets 10 or 20 of those. It is of all urgency. You teach them how to send those samples out right away. It's in the training. If you watch it, I stress it so hardcore in the bot. Again, a reason to put your new promoters in the bot and to have your old promoters go through the bot again. I stress so strongly how they need to get those 10 or 20 samples out immediately. It's what's going to help them make money and hit their VIP. So give them your link, have them go fill it out. You accept or deny, grab their email address first. If you deny, you're obviously sending out your own sample, get it in the mail. As soon as you know that that sample has gone in the mail, that's when you give them the promoter bot or the trial bot. I'm so sorry, the trial bot, the start my sample.com is the one you guys use. Is that it? Startmysample.com. I don't want to give you mine on accident. So as soon as you know that's gone out in the mail, give them that. Okay. And I have a, in boards under everyday scripts, I have the sample sign up that I do with people, but that's not going to apply to you guys exactly. However, I want you to send them that bot and get them enrolled in it, and then check back with them and make sure they enrolled in it, because you guys, it's going to be a follow-up system for you. Then when you know that they're going to get their sample in a few days, I have, hang on one second, under, I just want to give you guys the right spot. Under scripts, there is follow-up scripts, which will populate more in here, but one, I separated this so that you can see what mine looks like. But mine has a different website on it than your guys's. I bought another website and assigned it to your guys's bot. If you get them enrolled in the bot and they get their trial and they will forget to go back in there and type arrived or whatever, this is another way for you to follow up with them. So team sample follow-up is the script. It's under follow-up scripts. And it says, hey, just checking in to see if you received your happy package in the mail. Did you get a chance to start it? Just a quick reminder, if you go to this link, I will walk you through the whole sample, all the directions and explanations, and even some really awesome incentives. And then it gives the web address, not for them to start over in the bot, but it takes them and drops them right at day one. And it will ask them, you got your trial, you ready to start? They will click yes, and off they go. So that is a secondary step that I haven't really covered with you guys that I've been doing, because I know when we built this bot, we assumed compliance, right? We assumed people would stick with it and come back into the bot to get their directions. Well, you know, people start their trial and they forget. So I've been following up with all of my sample users and saying, hey, did you get your trial? And by the way, don't forget to go to this website, because the bot is going to walk you through this, or I'm going to walk you through this. So make sure that you're using that script when you're sending out trials. I mean, that if that's the most you have to do for follow-up through this process, you're doing pretty good. And it's automated. And then that way you're not the one actually having to reach out and bug the trial user each morning. Susie's doing it for you. And she's just reminding them to drink their water. And again, you guys go through the bot again, if you need to remind yourself of what it does. So you know what your customers and promoters are experiencing. All right, it's 7:32. Is Mary on here? I'm going to stop the recording. I just really wanted to get back to you guys. I wanted to get back to all the tools that we have for this team. Another one is our customer page. Just, remember our customer page. I don't see Mary on here. Is she on here?
I'm on here.
Oh, I see you now. I'm sorry.
Yep. No problem. Whenever you're done, we're ready to go. Okay. Actually, Amy's leading tonight because my brain's fried.
Okay, got it. So the customer page is another tool, you guys. Make sure that you're using it. If you've not watched the ATM training video in a while that Sydney does, I highly recommend you go and rewatch that. If you are not comfortable telling the story all the time and doing the follow-up and getting people to close, the ATM method works really, really well for you busy people. Add them, tag them, and message them, and let them know that there's validation like crazy in that customer page. Again, we can see who's adding people to those pages. So there's a lot we can see. So we know when the team's complying to things and when they're not. And when I say comply, I don't mean it in the like brutal, kernel sense. I mean it in like, if you do the things, you will close more sales. But I see a lot of you still stuck in objection land, and it's because you're not doing the things. And if we do the things, we will have better results, but we have to use the tools and do the things, right? The reach outs are the reach outs. You guys, I think we're getting to the point where on the IPA checklist, people are doing their birthday reach outs. They're adding their friends on Facebook. If you're not seeing your numbers go up for your network, you're not doing enough of it, because I'm getting a ton of new friends every single week. So I know how consistent I am on that. If you're not doing the basic things, your business isn't going to grow. If you are not recruiting promoters to build your team is not going to grow. If you're not using the tools and plugging people in, and you are doing a full-time job or a part-time job on top of this, you are going to have a harder time duplicating at speeds that other people can duplicate at, because they're using the automation. So We have all the tools. I just want you guys to use them and remember where all of them are at. I think we've made it pretty clear, concise, and easy because of the boards app. And maybe I'll just add a board on there that has all the different links and what they are, so that if you're ever questioning what link, oh, what link, oh, what is that link, oh, what is that website? Maybe I'll just make a board in there with all the websites and what they are, so that's easy to find for everybody in case you forget, because I do see those questions come up in the chat a lot. What is the bot again? It's in those links are in almost everything, but maybe one list of them would be helpful. All right, guys, I am going to pass it over to Amy, and she is going to do book club. If you're sticking around for Eric Worre's Go Pro 7 Steps Becoming